to the Principal Thing Talk Show, where wisdom meets purpose. Join host Gerard Lindsay each week as he connects the dots from the book of Proverbs that helps you to navigate life successfully and propel you into divine purpose. Listen in now.
Hello, everyone. How are you? This is another broadcast for the Principal Thing podcast. It's where wisdom meets purpose. I got a very special guest with us today. Good friend of mine, a young man that loves Christ and young entrepreneur. And we're going to hear from him today. This is Gabe. Gabe, thank you for being with the Principal Thing podcast today.
Of course.
We appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You are a very special guest to us. And I know that our audience is going to really be blessed by the things that we go over today. We know that you love Christ, you love business, you're doing some wonderful things, and God is using you in tremendous ways. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Gabe.
Yeah, so my name is Gabe Bollinger. I'm 19. I just graduated high school last year. And I breed dogs as my job. And then I'm also, I work out. My goal is to become a professional bodybuilder. So I also work out and very into like fitness and health. So that's kind of what I do right now. But yeah, like as my main job, I breed dogs.
Okay, well, what types of dogs do you breed, Gabe?
So I breed golden doodles. So I breed medium size, which are like 35 to 40 pounds. And then I breed standards, which are about 50 to 60 pounds.
Gabe, this is awesome. So what I want our audience to be able to hear today is that you are 19 years old. You love God. You're doing some incredible things in the business arena, and God has really, really blessed your business. So how long have you been doing this business, Gabe?
So I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, 2 years, about 2 years. Yeah.
And in the 2 years that you've been doing it, you've seen some tremendous growth. Am I correct, Gabe?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy right now. I've got, I'm about to have a litter of puppies, and I already have almost the whole litter sold. And then my next litter, I have almost that whole litter sold. And then even into the end of this year, I've got most of the litters for those sold. So it's very high demand. And I have a lot of people. I have puppies all over the United States. I've got them in California, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Texas, everywhere. So it's pretty great right now. Yeah.
Well, great. That's good. So one of the things before we move too fast, because I know I'm very excited, very glad to have you, because I know you personally and you're a tremendous young man. Like I said, I know you love God. And the thing about this particular broadcast, what I want people to really understand, young and old, is that you can love Christ and do business at the same time. So that is tremendous. So Gabe, look, give us your website before we go too far.
So it's honey.
So Gabe, look, give us your website before we go too far.
So it's honeymountainKennels.com. And then I also have Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and they're both Honey Mountain Kennels, just straight across.
Okay, great. That sounds good, because I know that you're an influencer as well. And you're connected to a lot of very powerful influencers. And I just think that's incredible. And one of the things that, in our conversations that I've learned with you is that you've had your parents, your grandparents speaking into your life at a very early age, to really help cultivate the giftings that God has placed inside of you as it relates to being an entrepreneur. Would you like to speak to that a little bit, Gabe?
Yeah. So from even when I was young and growing up and stuff like that, I've always had people ask me, like, what do I want to do? And it's always been instilled in me that I can kind of just do whatever I want to do, which I've seen that a lot of people don't grow up that way. They don't really grow up thinking for themselves. They kind of grow up just being told what to do. So really, when I kind of graduated high school, I had already had it instilled in me, like, I do what I want to do. I do what I'm passionate about, because God puts everyone on here for a reason and puts them on here for a purpose and stuff like that. And I think, I feel like I'm on here doing what I love, what God has put in my heart to do. And so really my passion has always been animals and dogs. And then I also love working out. And so I've really been here just doing what I love and everything like that.
I just think that's incredible, Gabe. I think that's incredible because a lot of people have been indoctrinated with a lot of things that's going on in society that tells us that we have to cut by a certain pattern. So, what I really hear you telling us today is that your parents, as well as your grandparents, has really been talking to you from a very early age, telling you what you could do. And those things have touched or connected with your gifts. And as a result, you're doing things that you're very passionate about. Not only have you started the business, but your business is doing very well.
Yeah.
It's doing very well. And it gives you the freedom to be able to travel the country. You have people that are coming in from all over the country that are after your dogs, your breed of dogs. What are some other things that you're doing with your dogs that are very special as far as nutrition is concerned, Gabe?
Yeah, so I feed them. It's called Life Abundance. It's a fresh. It's so they only will ship to people, and the reason they do that is because they don't sell in stores. Because when you get a dog food from a store, it could be there for 6 to 8 to a year. 6 to 8 months to almost a year.
Yeah.
And so the great thing about them is they make that food that week, and then they ship out that week too. So I buy through them, and they're really good. They have a holistic, all natural dog food, and you can also feed it from the moment that they're like when they start eating food to the moment that they go on. So it's an all life stages dog food, and so I've really found that it's the best probably for their coat, and just they love the dog food too.
That is incredible. That's incredible. So look, let me ask you this, Gabe. I understand that you got your business going, your business is thriving, you're doing very well. So one of the things that I want to really get out there today for our audience, how does it feel at 19 years old? You've got a thriving business, and then you're also, doing this bodybuilding thing. With your business, you have people that are all over the country that are coming after your breed of dogs because you specialize in this breed of dogs. So how does it feel to be 19 years old, have a relationship with God, and then to have a thriving business? What does that feel like, Gabe?
Yeah, it's great. The thing that I'm really trying to get over, and not really get over, but just figure out in life, which everyone, you got to figure things out. But coming from high school where everyone tells you what time to be there, when your classes are, and they put you on this like schedule. Yeah. Now that I'm graduated and I'm on my own, it's kind of like I do everything for myself now because I don't have a boss. I don't have anyone telling me anything to do. So it's all up to me now I'm just trying to figure out that perfect schedule of what time to be waking up, when I need to do this, when I need to do that, which is great. But then there's, struggle with that because sometimes I find myself not really doing anything. Yes. But then I'm like, I need to make sure, because I'm I want to work all the time and I want to do stuff all the time. And if I don't, I feel like I'm not very productive. But also I need to learn, or I'm also telling myself that it's okay to have down times, and that if you have all your work done, you don't need to, keep going. But it is really great because I can kind of just tell myself whenever, I do whatever I kind of want to do, but I also need to make sure that I get those things done. But I'm a very routine kind of person. So I like to eat the same foods every day. I like to wake up at the same time. I like to go to sleep at the same time. So really right now, the thing that I'm working on is just building that routine and just doing that every single day. And I'm a kind of person that once everything that I do, I want to be the very best at. And I can always get better in everything that I do. Even it doesn't matter how good I am, I can always get better. So that's one thing that I'm, trying to improve on is waking up and making my day as productive as possible. If that means, reading the Bible in the morning and then eating my food and then going out, taking care of the dogs, all that. I'm just trying to perfect it. And, even when I'm 80 years old, I'm always going to be still trying to perfect it. So it's never anything, but it's, it's really, really fun doing that. So
good. So you have a freedom at 19 years old. Mm-hmm. That a lot of people, not only at your age, but a lot of people that are a lot older than you, they don't even have. Yeah. So is this part of what you were thinking about, Gabe? The freedom in Christ, the freedom, in business when you were starting this business. So how did you really start out to really help our audience? Because what I hear is that you're very passionate about it. So look, starting your passion, things that you would really, really love. Was it easy for you, Gabe?
So the great thing is, so the way I started was my grandpa, I grew up on a farm, and then I moved off the farm at about 12, 13 years old. But we had goats. It was a goat dairy. So our main thing was goats. We had about 200 goats, and then we had a bunch of dogs and chickens and horses and stuff like that. But I've always been around dogs and animals, and I've always been like obsessed with them. They've always been like the thing that I just loved. So my grandpa has really good friends that are Amish up in Ohio, and one of them, they breed dogs, and I went up there and I kind of was just talking to them, and I got to become pretty good friends with one of them, and he helped me out a lot with getting me started. I got my first dog from him, and I've been kind of just going off from there. But I started I got my dog sophomore year of high school, but you have to wait till they get a little bit older before they can have puppies. So I really started maybe midway through junior year, I think. And then I've kind of just been keeping puppies back to add on to my my kennel, and I've kind of just expanded from there. But really, I watched tons of videos. I've read multiple books on dogs, and I've kind of just capitalized off of that. But the main thing is just going slow and not rushing the process, because the thing that people don't understand about dogs and like animals is you can't write it all down on paper, because some things don't always go to plan, so
I get it.
You really have to just put yourself through the trials and like trial and error, and then always the goal of perfection and like getting better. Like every litter I'm trying to do better, and I'm trying to get, better results, or try to do something better to where I can just always, I'm always progressing. So
that is awesome.
That's the thing that I try to do, but really just taking it slow. The great thing is I still live with my parents and I do all this here, but the great thing with that is it's kind of taking stress off of like everything else, and I can kind of just focus on perfecting the little things and just keeping those little things really, really good.
That's great. It sounds like you've got a plan, Gabe. You're saving your money. For those of you that don't know this young man thoroughly, he saves his money. He's doing a great job. He's thinking down the road. He's got his business really set up well. He's planning ahead down the road to expand his business, to scale it even more. He's got people flying in from different places in the country, to get his dogs. He's an influencer. This young man is connected. I mean, he does TikTok. He does a lot of interesting things. So, Gabe, we're very thankful that you had an opportunity to be able to join us here on the Principal Thing podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Because, you're welcome. Because this particular podcast, we cover a myriad of different topics. Because what we want people to understand is that you can. I hear the dogs in the background.
Yeah, sorry.
And I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. Because what I want people to understand is that you can have a relationship with God and still be balanced. You can have fun. You can create business, avenues of income, and you can enjoy life and really operate in a lane in life where you can be creative. You can do more than just one thing. And it's incredible. The fact that you're 19 years old, I really want people to be able to hear this, because what I am hearing from you, to put it not just in layman's terms, but to add God's gifting to it, is that everyone has a something that they can do. And you have to discover not just what you're passionate about, but you have to recognize the things that you've been exposed to in life, because some of the things that you've been exposed to can really be the catalyst to create business and opportunity for you to move forward. Yes, life-changing, and create streams of income. And for you, in your particular case, being raised on a farm, you love animals and dogs in particular. Then you had your grandpa, you had your mother and your father speaking into your life, cultivating your dreams, helping you to understand that, hey, you can move forward with the things that are important to you, and God can bless that. Not only did you hear it, but you received it. You actually got in touch with what was inside of you, and it connected to the dogs. And from there, one thing led to another. Before you know it, you've got a thriving business. And I just think that's awesome. So for those of you that are listening today, this is a very humble young man. He's doing some incredible things. He really is. And we're glad that really be able to have an opportunity for him to spend some time with us here on The Principal Thing, because you can be young, you can be middle-aged, and you can be even older. Have a relationship with God. I've got to really drive that home. You can have a relationship with God. You can create streams of income. You can create businesses and still have a great time. So what are the things around bodybuilding that you're looking at or interested in too, Gabe?
Yeah, so the thing I love so much about bodybuilding is it's a black and white statement that the work that you put in, you get back. So it's like, if I go to the gym every single day, my body is going to reflect what I've done. There's there's no like iffy thing about it. That's just how it is. So the work that you put into it, you're going to get back 100%. But I don't know. It's the thing with me is I love a challenge that's really, really hard. And that's what that is. It's just it's an obsession that I'm very like, once I get passionate about it, I obsess over things. That's like all I think about. And so bodybuilding from the age of about 14, I've been just really just love it. And that's all I really think about, you know what I mean? Well, not all, but a lot of the things that I think about are through that. And I really want to take it all the way and become pro and do that as almost another or my main job in the future. But the thing with that is it's a when you do things like that, it's a life-changing thing. So you can, once you start, you have to change your whole life, because it really does alter it from the eating and the working out. But that's what I love about it, is because it makes structure for your life to where you can really benefit in everything else that you do. So yes, it helps my body, but it helps my mind and my spirit and everything like that. And so I can use the principles of working out and everything else that I do, like dogs. It helps me on learning how to focus and really hone in on what I want and then go and get it. I think that's
great.
Yeah.
I think that is awesome. So this is what I'm really hearing. This is some of my takeaway just in the statements that you just really made. When you're creating streams of income from businesses and different things that, you know, God has blessed us to have, the capacity that God has put in us is expanding. And because you're creating a business, and because, you know, you're doing very, very well with your business, it gives you that freedom to explore other things that you're passionate about. Wherein, you know, there's some people that, you know, there's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But if you're not really tapped into some of the things that God is giving you, then what happens is that you don't have the freedom that God really wants you to have. So what are some of the things around ministry in particular that you may want to focus on, Gabe?
Yeah, so I definitely want to get into doing more missions work and probably, you know, traveling and going and helping people. That's definitely, but also just empowering people and telling them that, like, you can do what you want, and if you believe in yourself, you can achieve those things, you know. But you first have to believe those things in order to achieve it. You can't just, you know, people that are successful don't just wake up and it's just handed to them. They first believe that they can be a NFL star or an NBA star, and then they go after those things, you know. But
I think it's incredible.
I really think that's with God. I think God puts those things in people, and but he gives you the choice to first go after those things. You know what I mean? So he puts you on this earth. But my main thing with ministry is I want to help people unlock those things and really tap into their passions, and then acting on the passion, because a dream without action is just a fairy tale.
Hey, that is great. That's awesome. Gabe.
Yeah, that's, you know, and that's really big to me, is people have these huge dreams and I hear them talk to me, and then I'm like, all right, well, let's act on it. You know what I mean? Because if you don't act on it, it's just in your heart and you're not ever going to do anything with them. But I think people could really act on it and really, truly change their lives.
Gabe, I just think that's great. You know, one of the things, you know, because I know you personally, I know your parents are pastors, you know, they lead a tremendous congregation. And one of the things that I think is so important here, because you are a PK, you're pastor's child. And one of the things that I want the audience to be able to hear here is that your parents, as well as your grandparents, they've allowed you to have your own personal relationship with God and to go in the direction of your giftings and in the way that the Holy Spirit is leading you in your personal relationship. Would you like to speak to that, Gabe?
Yeah, they kind of lead. I mean, the great thing with them, and the thing that I'm really thankful for, is they've set a great example on how to live a godly life and a faithful life. And so, but they don't force anything on me,
Yes.
And that's like, I don't have to do it. It's all by choice, which is great. But I want to, because I see all the benefits of it. They say God says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And that's huge, because it really is true. And so I've seen that. And every time I press even hard, more into the Bible and into him, I see, progress in my life, and it really helps me. But really just keeping focus on him has really helped me a lot. And
wow.
I don't feel pressure from anybody to have to do that, but it's a want, to keep progressing and feel the joy from it.
Well, Gabe, that is awesome, because just to have that freedom in Christ and to take that freedom to the next level and allow the giftings that he has placed on the inside of you to create streams of income and business. I just think to be 19 years old and to have everything going for you that you have going for you, I don't see any type of ceiling in your life. And I just think that's incredible. And I want everyone to really dial into this particular podcast. I want them to share this podcast, because I believe that there's a lot of people, young and old and middle age, that still have the capacity to be able to create income.
Exactly.
Streams of income and businesses.
I
believe that it's there. And you're living proof, Gabe. You're living proof that it's there, and you're doing what you love. And I think that's incredible. You love what you do for Christ. You want to do even more, just like you're expanding in the natural with business, bodybuilding. You want to expand in your relationship with him. You want to go abroad. You want to do missions work, because you know that everything that you have, that God has given it to you. And I just think that's incredible. Gabe, is there anything else? I know that you have a plethora of things, but is there anything else, as we prepare to wrap up this broadcast, is there anything else that you want to share that God may have on your heart or that's important to you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is keeping a mind of ambition and keeping the mind of moving forward every single day. When you wake up, like, complacency shouldn't be an option. You know what I mean? Like, you should, every morning that you wake up, you should be thinking, how can I make this day the best day of my life?
Wow.
I don't care what's happening. And that's the key, in my opinion, to success, is having a mindset like that. My brother and his friend have a company or a movement called Ambition in Mind.
Yes.
And that's very big to me. Like, having ambition in mind is the way that you start businesses, you spread the gospel, you move forward in life, is through having a mindset of, I'm going to be the best I can, because you only have truly one life to live.
Man.
So you go to heaven. So you want to make that life the best one that you can. And it's not rocket science to be great. You know what I mean?
This is great.
The mindset of every day that you wake up, you have a wall that you're building. And every day you have a choice to put a brick on that wall, or you have a choice to take a brick away.
Wow.
And so every day that I wake up, I want to put another brick onto my wall of greatness and success. And because every day, all the days combined, it compounds into a great thing. So every little choice and every little great decision, they compound, and then they make that big pile of, greatness, or that big strong wall. So waking up with a decision of, I'm going to do good today. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. It's just waking up and being like, I'm going to do a little thing that's really good. You don't have to expecting to be successful in 1 year that's not the goal. It's being successful over time.
Wow.
So you don't have to wake up and be like, I'm going to solve all the world's problems. You can just wake up and be like, I'm going to solve one little problem. And all those little problems lead up to one really, really crazy, cool, awesome thing. So that's the thing, is just waking up with a ambition to do greater and win the day.
This is awesome. I'm so glad that we've had this opportunity to share, Gabe. I look forward in the future as you're doing other great things, and God is expanding you even more in every facet of your life. Look for the opportunity to be able to get together again. But everyone, we've had an opportunity to hear Gabe Bollinger today. And, he has this tremendous business. He's an entrepreneur. He's a God lover. He's a bodybuilder. He's a TikTok, producer. This guy is connected to a lot of influencers. He knows a lot of people that are doing a lot of wonderful things. He's young, has a relationship with God, and he's balanced in his approach to life. He loves God. He's able to have income. He's created a business, and he stays balanced. And I just think that it's just so much for all of us to take in. I think you're saying some tremendous things. I like this getting up with ambition. Yeah. I like that. And it's almost like what I'm hearing too, is the 1% goal of getting 1% better every single day. I love that. Gabe, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share with us today. Of course. You blessed us in a lot of ways. And for those that may be listening that may not be in Christ, God has some tremendous things for you. And you could do even more and even greater. Just tap further into the gifts that God has for you. For those of you that have dreams, goals, and ambitions, what Gabe said today, it's good to have it. But if you don't act on it, it's just a fairy tale. Exactly. We don't want fairy tales. Nope. We want real, tangible dreams to come to pass. So, Gabe, thank you very much for being on the Principal Thing podcast today. And I'm your host, D. Gerard Lindsay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And Gabe, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to getting back with you at another opportunity. I want you to have a wonderful day, and success be on everything that you do, Gabe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Join host D. Gerard Lindsay again next week as we discover how to successfully navigate life with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and learn the principal thing, where wisdom meets purpose.